Hello, my name's Annika and welcome to the Sewing Nook. In this video I'm going to be doing a sewing box slash sewing tin tour with y'all. I'm actually really excited because I've wanted to do this for a few months now because I actually semi-recently got a new sewing box with an exciting new tool in it that I've never had before and that I'm excited to try. So let's get right into it. Okay, let's start with some tins. So this larger tin is a cookie tin, and this was actually my great-grandmother's little sewing box that she had. And it just has a bunch of threads in it. It does have this seam ripper. That's really neat. Then yeah, a bunch of threads, this, and mainly that. So I've just kept these threads. I've actually used a few of them. I just think it's really special to have this from my great-grandmother and to carry on her passion for sewing. And she also did a lot of crocheting. She would crochet little baby booties and baby hats and then give them to hospitals, which I think is so neat. And she also made doilies, which I would definitely love to try again to continue that on. I just think that'd be really neat. And then this is one that I believe we found, my mother and I, at a thrift store, but it just says sewing machine accessories and it looks so vintage and cute. And I just keep it in my desk and I just have some spare needles. And then I do have some rotary cutter blade replacements and then some little sewing pins that I bought way back at Hobby Lobby. So those are the only two tins, and then let's get into the sewing boxes. All right, for my first sewing box, this one is a little bit older and is a little bit more brittle. I'm not sure where we got this. It was at a thrift store or an antique store, and I do not remember how much it was. I just love like older sewing boxes because they have so much character to them. Like this whole lining, it's just so pretty, and like yeah, the string that would hold it up is completely frayed and broken. This one has a lot more embroidery threads in it, and I think it did used to have some buttons in here, but I just put them with the rest of my button collection. It does have a seam ripper, and I have no clue what these are. If you know what this is, please let me know because I have just been wondering for a long time what this does. I'm sure I could look it up, but I don't know. If someone knows what it is, just let me know. And then these are so cute. Not sure if this actually came in this box, but it did end up in here. But it's this adorable little travel sewing kit, which I think is so adorable. It even has 2 buttons and a safety pin. So cute. And then there's a ton of these, which are like the hook and eye, I think it's called, which is really neat to have that. And then here is an old one of these little things to mark, and it even has a little thumb. But that is, I just think that's so cute. It also came with this, and I also do not know what these are for. So again, if you know, please let me know. There's a giant safety pin. There's these two that were 57 cents at one point for a pack of 6. And then these little snap buttons that look very old. Okay, let's move on to the next box. Okay, first of all, I love how these 3 look together. They match and go so well, but let's start with the top one. This one is definitely in better condition than the other one, and I do love this floral on the top. It is like plastic covered, so it will stay better. Has a little lock. There's not really that much in this one. It's just mainly some old fabrics and this trim. But again, I just love how the inside of these look. This is really vibrant too. Like, I love this fabric. It's so cute. So that's this one. And then the other 2 that I showed that match it are actually thread holders. So I don't know if they're considered sewing boxes, but this is the first one that I got at an antique mall. And I just thought it was so cool. So you kind of pull it open and it has a little handle and you open it up and it has spots for all of your bobbins and then for all of your thread, which I think is so neat and a perfect way to keep it all organized. And I actually do really, really like this color. It's not filled right now because I also have the one on my wall, that I have filled, but it has more of the brighter colors that I don't use so much. So I got this one first, and then I found this other brown one afterwards. And this one is thicker, but it looks the same. It even has the same pattern on the top, but it opens up. Oh, this one I found, actually, I'm remembering now. I found this one at a Christian mission center. So it was like a bigger Christian mission, and it was only a few dollars. So I got really lucky on this one. This one actually doesn't have anything in it. I'm pretty sure that these 4 slots are for thimbles, which is so cute. And then, of course, the bobbins, and then any other little trinkets. But then you can take this out, and you have the thread holders underneath. And I love this one too because I love both of these colors. And of course I had to get it too because it matches that one and it's a little bit bigger. So let me know if you think I should fill these. I have these on display in my room, so that's the main reason that I don't actually use all of these all the time. But maybe I should. Let me know what you think. But I definitely love these two together. I stacked them on top, and then, yeah, that other basket goes amazing with it. Yeah, I just think these are such a score. And then the last basket is the newest one that I've gotten, which is this one. And I'm not a huge fan of the fabric that they used for it, but the handle and everything, even like the snap, it's very sturdy and feels like it's in really, really good condition. So of all of them, this would be the one I would use the most. I just could see myself using this one more, but I mainly got it because... So actually, my mother got me this one. I cannot remember if it was at Christian Mission or a yard sale. Again, none of these were like brand new or anything. Obviously, most of the things I buy are from Christian Mission or antique stores. So this was also from there, and my mom did get it for me. It's a little bit more simple on the inside. There's some needles in here for sewing machine, and then some pins and a pin cushion. But I really liked it because of what was inside. So let's go through this first. So there's like no thread in here, but there are tons of fabric glue. Here's Singer Sew No More, Liquid Stitch, Fabric Fusion, and then Tack It Over and Over, Press On, Lift Off, Temporary Bond. So apparently these people did not want to sew. I don't know. Who knows what they use this for? Maybe this basket was strictly for their no sewing stuff, but I just found that kind of funny. I like that this one is still like in the case. It's just kind of cool. I like older products. Let's see if it has a date on it. Okay, I could not find a date on it, but it's just so cute how it looks. All right, and that's what's in this bag. And then there's some patches. Oh, there's more liquid stitch that is separating. That's nice. Here's some double-sided Steam a Seam fusible tape, again, so you don't have to sew. This is probably what this basket was for, or they wanted to sew without sewing. Who knows? Then there's this, I'm assuming, old embroidery hoop with a spring on it, which is really neat. Yeah, that's really cool. A random piece of fabric. Oh, my bad. 2 pieces of fabric. And then this is what I was most excited about whenever I looked through this, is this old Dritz, I think, electric scissors, and you just plug it in. But I have wanted to try out electric scissors for quite some time because I always thought if they actually work as well as it looks, that could be a huge time saver. So I did plug this in and it does work amazing, which is just, it's just so cool. And it's even like, since it's vintage, who knows how vintage, but they just look cool. So I'm definitely going to have to use this in one of my projects. I have not used it yet because I didn't know when I'd be able to record and put this video out. And I wanted to save it as a surprise in this video because, yeah, it's just really exciting for me to have vintage electric scissors. So I'll definitely have to do some tests and see if it works or see what fabrics it works well on. That is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Definitely let me know which box was your favorite or what trinket that was in them you liked the most. Give it a like if you enjoyed and make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already.